Hi Leo, hope you guys are doing great today. These are going to be general messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 6th to January 12th, 2020. These are general messages, guys. If they don't resonate with you, please don't try to make them fit. And I do recommend you checking out your rising sign, moon sign, and your Venus sign for even more clarity, greater clarity for this time period. Guys, I'm going to be starting out with the astrology. The astrology is just too big and amazing this week. It's life-changing for all of us, and I'm really not that kind of reader where I'm super dramatic like that, but seriously. So if you're really not interested in it, just fast forward until you see me pulling the cards. It's totally fine. Let's get right into this. So on January 8th, we have Jupiter conjuncting the south node of Capricorn. Now, for those of you who aren't sure what the deal is with the nodes, they're locations, they're not planets, and the south node is what's stagnant and really past its expiration date in our life. And the North Node is what we need to develop to achieve inner balance and fulfillment, right? So here we have the South Node happening in Capricorn, the North Node happening in Cancer, okay? So with where the energies are going to be meeting up this week is going to be in a space where we're going to be pushed to look at our karma front and center. And we're going to be pushed to look at our past, and especially the past year, and figure out what's moving forward with us and what we're detaching from. And where we've been blocking ourselves from being successful, either in relationships or business or friendships, family connections, anything like that, but really identifying where we've been holding ourselves back, because Jupiter is going to be in there helping us to tap into our wisdom to figure out what needs to be implemented, which is the nourishing of that and nurturing of that North Node energy in Cancer to help grow us, okay? So then on the 10th, the second thing is on the 10th, we have this full moon lunar eclipse happening at 20 degrees in Cancer. Okay. So we're getting two of these this year. So this is going to be the first one, and then the next one is going to be in the summer. And the 6 months between, I'm calling the 6-month workspace to work on and work out, something that needs to either end, be transformed, or focused on, okay, in order for us to move forward in the way that we're meant to. Now, the moon's at home in Cancer, so I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a little intense. It will be. But really, we're going to be pushed to figure out what needs nurturing and cultivating in our life, which is really good. And the thing to know is that as we're over here ending, transforming, or focusing on this thing that needs our attention, something new is just going to be slipping in the back door, right? And it may be clear to us, or it may not be clear to us right away. If it's not, it will be, because there are a lot of other energies in the sky that's going to be really helping us to certain things to become illuminated for us, for sure. And then on the 11th, we have Uranus going direct. Uranus is the planet of surprise, right? I've been calling Uranus the boom planet, right? In my past few videos. It's really the shaker and mover planet. And it's been retrograde since August. It's finally going direct, which is really good. And this is really going to help us feel like, help us identify where we've been feeling stuck. And it's really going to help you get out of whatever rut you've been in whatever area it is in your life, if you've been feeling that. And the thing is, he's in Taurus. So Taurus is going to help us see what needs adjusting or changing in our physical 3D world, because there are structures in our lives that just won't work for us anymore. And it's time to tear them down and innovate, update, or change. Okay, and as you do this, Uranus is going to be bringing you in some new pentacle energies, which can be resources. It can be anything that's pentacle related. You're going to be having introduced into your everyday. So if career is an issue for you, you're going to have some new career opportunities. You're going to be having some epiphanies regarding what you want to do with your career. You're going to be realizing that you want to change majors in school if you're in that space of your life. Anything to do with changing the trajectory of your career, where you're going to be leveling up, which is really good. Now, Pentacles also means emotional, physical, and mental connection. So this can be you serendipitously meeting people, being introduced to situations where you're going to be making these connections with people that are going to change the trajectory of your life. So really beautiful. Then the last one, and very important, which is happening on the 11th into the 12th. It depends on where you live in the world, the 11th or the 12th. We have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that everybody's been talking about. And the thing is, that by itself is big enough, because that only happens every 34 years. But now throw in everything else that I was just talking about. This really is a life-changing time period where It's not going to happen overnight, guys. That's ridiculous. It doesn't happen like that. But this is where the doors are opening. The seeds are cracking open. Everything is changing so that the axis is shifting. All right. Now, the 34-year cycle, I've been mentioning it kind of tangentially in my past couple of videos, just kind of working up to this. But there is a big cycle ending in pentacle energy, you know. And in pentacles, think about pentacles as having to do with resources, money, and possessions. And those of you who are old enough, just think back to the past 34 years. I mean, isn't that the truth? Think about the change in how the stock market's evolved and the real estate, and just how divided the class system has become from the upper class to the lower class. And it's kind of like everything went from being relatively like this to being kind of like that, you know. But we're leaving this cycle and we're entering a cycle of air. Everybody's calling it the age of Aquarius. It certainly is. Aquarius is an air energy ruled by Uranus. Uranus rules technology. So we're entering an age of technology. Uranus also likes to do things quickly. Uranus likes to do things differently. This is an outside of the box. This is a bit of a quirky energy. So things are going to just be quirky, different. It's just going to be a new approach to things. But let's not forget the sisters of Aquarius, right? Which is Gemini and Libra, right? So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication, and Libra is ruled by Venus. So anything Venusian, right? It's our relationship with money and how we connect to the things that we love. So there's going to be growth in all of these areas moving forward, and we're going to have Pluto in there helping us to transform, and Saturn's going to be helping to mature us so that we can, in a healthy way, really create this firm foundation that's going to bring us into this ability to achieve that inner balance and that fulfillment that the North Node really wants for us. So this is really nice. Now, for many of us, it's going to feel like loss. It just is. For some of us, it's going to feel like really big, obvious gifts, one right after the other. It honestly depends on what's in your natal chart. It really does. It's going to be a little different for everyone. But what is the same for everyone is that we're all going to be experiencing this change. And now at the same time, guys, while we're going through all of this, really ask yourself, what did Jupiter help you to see that does work in your life? Because Uranus is going to be helping that to become more solid. So what's working? What's good? Is it your relationship, your job, your friendships, your family connections? You know, just like really take stock of what's good in your life. Really take stock and really embrace it, because there's going to be like a solidification and this beautiful leveling up in areas that are just really meant, that are in your life already, that are meant to remain and for you to grow in. So it's a really cool energy, guys, that we're going into. It really is. And we're going to be feeling it big time into the summer. I mean, this is so not even about just January 6th to the 12th, but that happens to be where these things are starting. This is where like we're in the car, it's turned on, and we're pressing the gas pedal. But we have to travel way across the country, right? It's going to take us a bit to get there, right? We might come across some beautiful experiences on our journey, some scary things, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but ultimately we're going to end up exactly where we're meant to be. So it's all entirely positive. It's so important for us to stay open and let go of parts of our life that just really aren't working. You know what I mean? Like, and we know, if we're really honest with ourselves, guys, right? Right, Leo? We know. What needs to, where do you need to cut the Cancer out? Not the sign. Well, for some of you, it might be a sign. I said that in another video, and somebody was like, yes, I am getting rid of a Cancer. I'm like, okay. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, where's that thing in your life that's becoming like necrotic, where it's kind of like eating away at you sort of thing, you know? Really identify, like, is that job just like, can't do it anymore? Or maybe you're not doing enough and you're just like dying of boredom. You know what I mean? All right, so let's pull your crowning. 7 of air, 7 of swords, so there's going to be some air clearing. You guys are the 3rd sign. You're the 11th sign I'm doing. You're the 3rd sign to get that as the crowning. Very interesting. Your gift for the week is messenger of air. And your challenge of the week is 4 of fire, which is 4 of wands. see what we have, Leo. All right. So the Seven of Air energy is the it's the Seven of Swords, okay? But air is about communication and truth. So it's about this conflict over what's real, what's not, what's true, what's not. Now, this can certainly be an internal conflict where you're trying to sift through, you know, what's real and what's not real, what needs to stay, what needs to go in your life, right? I mean, you might be pushed into this space of feeling that with these energies that we're having. You may also be arguing with somebody in the 3D, having to do with a relationship, family situation, friendship, certainly something having to do with work. But it's not a good kind of fighting in that, okay, it's productive, but it's messy while it's happening, if that makes sense, right? Because it's a thievery card. So it's somebody coming in and trying to basically, like, I call it like a bastardizing of your words, where there's some gaslighting, there's some deflection, there's lack of seeing and agreeing what's real, what's not, how things rolled out. There's a lack of agreeing with how things rolled out. But what's really good about this, really good, is that there's air clearing here. There's a clearing of the air. I mean, and that's and it's like this necessary clearing of the air. Now, the messenger of air, I mean, I feel like this is an important week for you, Leo. This is an important week. Let's see. So this is your recent past. This is where you are now. This is your challenge. This is your outcome. And I'm pulling qualifiers down here. Okay. All right, so messenger of air is you really needing to get in touch with the stories that you tell yourself about a person, a situation, a relationship, anything in your life. And this is you really getting in touch with where it is that you might need to update your thought process. And the message here is to really look at the way you think and the way you process. And if you're not being a little unfair in certain parts of your life, either too hard on yourself, too hard on somebody else, too unrealistic in your thinking, too pie in the sky, not grounded in reality enough, or, you know, where you might be self-sabotaging yourself. But this is about really looking at the story that you tell yourself, about people in your life, and really get in front and center with that. It's a very healthy energy. That really is, because it's impossible to have growth without this energy. It's impossible. So I feel like there's some sort of air clearing going on, and it's leaving you in a state of passivity where you're like, you know what? You know, maybe I need to think about something a little differently, handle something a little differently. Maybe I didn't handle things in the past the best way. You know, maybe I really need to think about how I could have been more fair, or maybe I need to think about, get front and center with why I let that person do that to me, kind of thing. But we have in your recent past, we have where Ace of Wands energy is about feeling very passionate about a new beginning, but then somebody closing themselves off to you. So this could certainly have to do with an intimate relationship, or this can have to do with a job where you were really excited to start a job, and maybe you did start it, but it ended up not being at all what they promised. And it just ended up not showing up. So this indicates you being very passionate about something, and that something that you were passionate about ended up not returning the feeling in the same way, okay? So this can really have to do with anything, a friendship, a relationship, a job. But now where you are at right now is you're just tired of defending yourself. So who else got this in this position? I don't remember. I want to say maybe Aquarius, or maybe Sagittarius. I don't know. But regardless. Seven of Wands in reverse is about you just don't want to keep defending yourself anymore, Leo. You just don't want to. You feel as you feel. Sagittarius. It was Sagittarius. So maybe some of you are dealing with the Sag, or you have Sagittarius in your chart. But this person, you just don't want to defend yourself anymore. Because in the upright, it's about being like large and in charge, and just being very kind of authoritative over what it is that you want for yourself and your life, and being very in touch with your morals, and having this fire in your belly, and just kind of just really owning it. But in the reverse, it's like Nobody's listening to me. My voice isn't being heard. I'm tired of defending myself. I just don't want to do it anymore. You just don't want to do it anymore. And we have the Queen of Pentacles energy here. I mean, you're very in touch with what it is that you want. But for many of you, you're going to feel this. Okay, I'm going to do two things here. Some of you are very in touch with exactly it is that you need out of a relationship, a job, or whatever the situation is that's on your heart right now. You're very in touch with what's necessary to make a good connection work. Others of you may not be so, but you're dealing with somebody who is a Queen of Pentacles energy, somebody who does know what's required. And for some reason, they're telling you that you're not showing up in the way that you need to show up, and you feel the need to defend yourself, and you just don't want to defend yourself anymore against this person. So somebody's saying like, a relationship, this much communication should happen, and our social life should look like this, and our intimate life should look like this, and this is where we should live, and da-da-da-da-da. And not that there's anything wrong with that. This person may have some fabulous points. But I feel like you're not seeing eye to eye on everything if this is resonating with you as a relationship, and you just don't want to defend yourself anymore. All right? But we're going to go back to this point of that very much speaks to the Seven of Air, crowning, because it's exactly that kind of discussion that we were talking about there. And you may be needing to really get in touch with where, you know, what kind of story have you been telling yourself about this person? What kind of narrative have you developed for yourself regarding relationship? You know, and if it has to do with work, this has to do with you just feeling like, you know what, I'm tired of talking to my boss. I'm tired of dealing with these other, my colleagues. You know, things are just not going to change. Things are not going to change. Like the money is there, the Queen of Pentacles, the money is there, but you just are not feeling this sense that it's bringing you what you need, right? And you just, again, are tired of defending yourself. Now, in your fear position, we have the building energy. This is the Architect card. This is about like really laying out and structuring your future. And this is in your, this is blocking you. This is in your fear energy, along with karma. So karma is an interesting energy because karma is in this particular deck. Karma is like the devil energy. So and what is karma? I mean, karma is an imbalance of something, right? It's just treating somebody not the best way, doing something that is not for the highest good of the situation, right? And all that is it's an imbalance, whether it's in moral behavior, whether it's in whatever it is, it's an imbalance, right? Now, this could also certainly be some sort of addictive behavior, right? That's a challenge for you this week. So having to do with alcohol, drugs, shopping, gambling, sex, too much of anything, too much of one way of thinking. Of acting. Now, it could also be imbalanced thinking, excessive fear, excessive worry, excessive negative thinking, anything like that, where there's this severe imbalance. And this is your challenge here, though. It's this severe imbalance because you feel like you're not going to be able to grow and build with this person in this situation. And you're really just trying to like process everything is what I'm getting here. But this is more of like your fear and your challenge here. The outcome here, we have the Wheel of Fate. So we have fate. So whatever is happening here is fated. And we have it with the Ace of Cups reverse, which indicates there's not going to be a new beginning with this person or the situation right now. But this is the thing. The Ace of Cups is still positive in the reverse. This could certainly mean that somebody is just closed off wholly so to a new cycle, a new beginning. But whatever is happening here, it's completely necessary. It's fated. I mean, this really is fated. Completely necessary. So to recap this, we have that you were very motivated to get going in something, but you were not received this. Your feelings weren't received the same way, having to do with a person or a situation. Somebody was telling you what you needed to do, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to do the other thing, and you just don't want to defend yourself anymore, and you're fearing that you're not going to be able to cultivate and build. You can be working in some very low vibrational energies that are getting in your way. But guys, this is where the messenger of air comes in. Like, you really need to get in touch with that. Like, what are you telling yourself, Leo? Because I have to tell you what I'm getting. There's something really good here that you're not seeing that needs to be developed further. Now, I don't know if, because, the karma card, you guys are Leo. Every single archetype, guy, this is no shade on Leo, what I'm about to say. Every single archetype has a very illuminated side and a shadow side. We all have it, right? And the shadow side, this is the shadow side, right? The shadow side of Leo is excessive ego and a need to control, and a real unwillingness to see somebody else's point of view. So this may be a play here. This may be a play. Let me pull 4 more cards across just to get a more clear story. Yeah, confusion. Confusion, you don't feel like you're being heard. You really don't. And there's this lack of willingness. Ooh, Emperor energy. Reverse. Knight of Wands reverse. Yeah. I mean, you just feel like you're being treated very unfairly, and there's a lack of passion here. At the same time, you're having a really hard time making a decision. I feel like you've been disrespected. But I don't feel like you're acting in your... Leo, I gotta call it like it is. There's some area of your life where you're not acting really very moral or responsible or on the up and up, whether it's in private, whether it's overtly out in the open. I just feel, because we have the karma card here, and then we have the Emperor reverse in the same line. And now, okay, now this is also your fear and your challenge. So maybe you're fearing that this person who you're dealing with is actually this Emperor reverse energy, which is the challenge for you. So the Emperor reverse energy would be anybody who deflects and gaslights. This could be somebody who's not faithful. It really doesn't matter. It has to do with this overt disrespect, though, that's going on. So if it's not you, it's certainly somebody else. But you have this lack of passion to move forward in this because you feel like it's really not going to bring you the support that you're needing. Yeah. Knight of Wands reverses. You just don't have the gumption and the energy left in you to keep fighting for something. You really feel tapped out. You do. You feel tapped out of something. Feel tapped out. But I can't help but feel like... Oh, I don't know. I just feel like something else is there. Something else is there, my friend. This is the challenge. The challenge is a strong foundation. This is your challenge for the week. Is having a strong foundation, creating a strong foundation. Leo, I feel like you're just having like a bugaboo here. I don't know. All right. Before I say anything, let's pull the cards. Yeah, you're feeling unsupported. Right now you're feeling, you're just not tapped into your intuition right now. Okay. It's all right. It's a challenge. Self-imprisonment. Okay. So the King of Pentacles reverse is you just feeling a lack of connection with a person or a situation. Absolutely. And you feel like this is going to be a challenge for you to build a foundation in, because they're holding back their emotions, they're holding back their feelings. And it's really difficult to build a foundation when you don't feel connected to someone or something, right? It's hard to feel, you can't build a foundation in a relationship, a job, a friendship, you can't even develop a family connection if the connection's not there, right? But then we have the High Priestess energy reverse and the Eight of Swords. I mean, these two go perfectly together. This is you just not feeling really tuned in and tapped on to your intuition, and you're feeling in this space of self-imprisonment. I mean, this really is like a mental kind of self-imprisonment, and you're just not really tapping into your intuition here. And I feel like, because there's some confusion here for you, I am feeling that there is a bit of confusion going on for you right now this week. Now, in the challenge for you is getting going on a new cycle with this person or within this situation, right? You want it. You want it. You would really like something new to happen here, but not the way it was. Not the way it was. You know, when you're realizing this in this messenger of air energy, you're realizing that the way this was being handled, it's got to go. But you want this new start. But the challenge here is that you're in a space of feeling like you can't actually build with them. Because the Eight of Pentacles is that kind of energy where it's like, you know, you guys are like saving money for a house, you're figuring out where you're going to move, all of that kind of like planning stuff, you know. And you just, it's really, it's blocking you. You want this beginning with them. You have a lot of positive emotions here, but you feel like it's just like not able to happen. This firm foundation, you're having a challenge with it. And you're cross purposes with yourself, possibly even with them. But this is about you taking out a minute and really figuring out what's true, what's not, okay, what's real, what's not. Do I want to do this or do I want to do that? Let me figure out how I'm going to handle this situation with this person. And you taking a minute out. And I like this because this is this messenger of air energy, because you're figuring out truth, right? Because swords are air. Swords are air. So you're really trying to figure out, and you're allowing your emotions to get involved in this decision. You see with the water in the background. Now, this could certainly be you being at cross purposes with yourself. If you're not actually speaking to somebody about a certain situation, you could certainly just be at cross purposes with yourself. But then we have the truth is really going to come out here. The Queen of Swords energy. Now, this can be you, somebody else, or a situation, because it's a core card. But regardless, there's a truth that's coming out. There's a truth that's revealing itself that's necessary in order for this foundation to exist. So this could be some sort of realization having to do with your job. Something that you realize you need to do differently. Maybe you just need to change your mental approach to how you do your job, how you work. Maybe you're realizing you need to change your path in your job. Maybe you're realizing that you need to change careers altogether. If this has to do with a relationship, maybe you're really getting front and center with why what happened happened. Maybe you recognizing where maybe your ego got in the way, or maybe their ego got in the way, or where there was some sort of unjust, behaviors going on. If they were bothering you about something, did they have a point as to what the things that they were bringing up? Or were they just looking to be controlling, But it's you getting in touch with this truth. There's definitely this truth being illuminated here. It's the outcome for this challenge. The outcome for this challenge. What's the outcome? More information on the outcome, please. Because it's like, okay, the truth comes out, cool, then what? Yeah. Nine of Cups in reverse. So somebody's holding back their emotions. Somebody's blocking you from being really happy. There are truths coming out in the Moon reverse. This is you getting really honest with yourself about a person or a situation. This is a lot of truths coming out. You're feeling very nostalgic about something in your past, but you're putting rose-colored glasses on it in a way that you really shouldn't be, okay? Now, guys, this doesn't have to be a relationship. This could certainly be a job where you're remembering, something that you wanted to do once upon a time, and you're forgetting why it is that you didn't follow through with it, right? But there definitely is the sense, I'm sensing an internal conflict more than anything. You're feeling very conflicted about something. or a person, right? Now the qualifiers here with the Nine of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands energy. So it's like you feel like you're not going to be able to have your wish fulfillment with this person because they're that you're feeling passionately about, even though you feel passionately for them, they felt passionately for you. You guys just weren't able to see eye to eye on things. Because then secrets came out. Secrets, and we have the moon reverse, and we have the sword reverse. So something came to light for you guys, for sure. Something came to light. Now, the Six of Cups energy with the, this is you like fearing. Oh my gosh. It's like you're fearing this reminiscing. You're fearing this retrospective of your past. And you're fearing this ability you have to put rose-colored glasses on things that were in the past. Because this is your block here and a fear. And, recognize that something, and you're just afraid that something's going to resurface from the past. You're afraid of it because you actually don't want a new beginning with whatever it is from your past. You don't want the past to repeat itself. You don't want the past to repeat itself. You're having inner conflict. You're in this deep inner conflict. Really, there's a very pensive vibe here. But you're dealing here in the outcome with the Emperor energy reverse again. I don't know. I mean, this might be you. Leo, you gotta call it what it is. Internal conflict. Maybe you're self-medicating. You're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Whatever it is, having to do with this job, this situation, this career, whatever it is. Ten of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles reverse. So the Ten of Pentacles reverse it's so positive in the reverse. It really is. You have, by the way, you guys are energetic beings, and and you have the power of free will to turn any of these reversals upright, and that is the truth. You really do. But this does indicate that something needs addressing before you can have this nice, beautiful Ten of Pentacles energy where you're in a good relationship and your money's on point and there's a good solid connection. But you have to turn your back to a way of doing things that you've been doing up to this point in order for there to be a new beginning. And it's the Three of Wands energy. So the new start is there for you, for the foundation to happen. But whatever's been happening up to this point can't continue. And Leo, I have to tell you what I'm getting. You can't continue whatever it is that you were doing either. I mean, that's just such an obvious message here. And this is nothing against Leos. I have so many Leos in my life. Those of you who have been watching me know, like, my whole family are Leos. Seriously. But I mean, this is what, the messenger of air, it's a very profound energy. And it's not easy to get really front and center with ourselves in that way, for goodness sake, right? Who likes to do that? That's not fun. And Leos like to have fun. You know what I mean? But I feel like once you do that, you're going to be able to have that strong foundation energy. Okay, anyway. For those of you who are open to love, let's get a love oracle and we'll pull a few qualifiers there. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Okay. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Isn't that the truth, right? It doesn't matter how many toys you have. Can't take them with you. But this energy is more about just putting things in perspective, Just really putting things in perspective. And keeping it real. Like, what really matters, What really matters? Getting in touch with what really, really matters. It's a messenger of air. Okay. Being less controlling, not being so controlled. Yeah. I mean, Leos, you guys love so hard. You really do. You do. You love very hard. And one thing I really love about the archetype of Leo is even if like something happens to your partner, your significant other, or within a situation, you're still in there. The archetype of Leo, if you it depends on what else you have in your chart, obviously, but the Leo archetype is just very ride or die. Like, they're able to just be by your side through illness and all of that, and just, it's like the love and the friendship supersedes everything else. Even though Leo's very like flashy and they love to be front and center, and you guys have fabulous hair and you love beautiful things and you're very attracted to beauty, when it comes to love, your love kind of like transcends all of that, and that's like really, really beautiful. I think I just think it's just a beautiful quality of Leo's. With butterfly, I like you. Healthy choices. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, being happier. I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming, fun, flirting, wanting to date. And then we have the butterfly. Okay, relationship evolving into the next phase, healing the inner child, and growth. Guys, listen. Those of you who are resonating with this, I have to tell you what I'm getting. It's not going to be for everybody, obviously, but the messenger of air is very much a butterfly kind of phoenix sort of vibe. And this is really, when we're talking about really updating an outdated way of thinking, there's very often a healing of that inner child. There is this healing, there's this growth in this energy, okay? And it's really kind of approaching things from a healthier perspective. So I really, really like that. You're just going to be updating yourself. Now, for some of you, I feel like this within your connection, I feel like those of you who are in deep connection right now, you're going to be entering into a new cycle where there's going to be more fun, more flirting. There's going to be, because you know, there's an ebb and flow in relationships, even if you've been together for years and years, where you kind of have these cycles of rekindling. So I do feel like you guys are going to be dealing with that if you're in a solid relationship. Those of you who are kind of in a weird space, I do feel like there's going to be this updating and this healing that's going to be happening. So that you guys, and it's going to be like a reconnection and a flirty, fun, beautiful kind of reconnection, but in a healthy way, in a really healthy way. I just really feel like that. You know, for those of you who have no connection at all, but you're open to love, I feel like it's through this taking care of yourself, through really facing any past issues that you've had with intimacy, with love, really updating your moral code, your moral compass, somebody is going to be coming in. It's like you're going to be lifting that block to let somebody in. So I really like that. This is a very deep energy, and to get this as the oracle, I do like it. So let's get a closing piece of advice for you guys, for Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, January 6th to the 12th of 2020. So I gotta get used to saying that, right? Pay attention to the signs, okay? So yeah, I mean, signs are all around you. Open your mind and pay attention to your environment, Leo. Really. I mean, because your angels know that you've been feeling lost about some direction that you need to take in your life, and the decisions you need to make, and you're being heard. You're being heard. Your frustrations and your pleas for help, and you know, Spirit's just asking you to slow down and stop focusing on the problem and allow a solution to come into your reality here. So it's like your helpers on the other side, right, in the spirit realm have been really like working very hard to organize some sort of synchronistic events and support for you. But you keep thinking in that same stubborn way, so you got to relax and look at life in a more creative way. Tap into that messenger of air energy you've been talking about, you know. Pay attention to repetitive signs and signals, guys. Really, a sign can come in the form of anything, right? The form of a song, a movie, a book, something that you smell, something in nature, an animal, people, thoughts, dreams, visions, anything, really anything. And sometimes your body even gives you signs, right? Especially if you have any Taurus in you. If you have any Taurus placements, definitely for those of you who have that. But your body may be telling you to like rest. change your diet, you know, work on challenging your emotions. But just make sure you take the signals that come in very seriously in order for you to really benefit from them. Good stuff. Leo, that's what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.